All right, guys, welcome to today's video. We are in the kitchen, not the shop. A little weird. Let me show you why. So on the table in front of me, I've got my individual throttle body set up for my LS1 that I'm putting in my FC rx7 drift car. So as you can see, this is all it came with. This is literally the only instructions that I have. Now, I did buy this kit used. I don't know if it had more when you bought it, but this is the Speedmaster LS1 downdraft kit. So we're gonna put it together because I haven't seen anything on YouTube of how to do so. I don't know how to do so. I've got this picture to reference. There's some O-rings here, and these thread into this, so I'm assuming that they're gonna go right here. Boom, just like that. I was checking if those bolts also thread into here, and they do, so that makes it a little bit more tricky, but I do believe that these are for that. I'm gonna just count the holes because there's only two threaded holes on the top here for the trumpet, and there's 4 in this, so if these are the correct amount, it should be 4, 12, you know what I mean? So yeah, let's just go ahead and get into it. I'm gonna make sure I know what I'm doing, but this is gonna be somewhat of a how-to video and also learn with me video. Because there's not many how-to explanations on this. So let's get into it. Yeah, so I've got 8 groupings of 4 bolts, so each one for these, and then there are 8 of these guys. So these are gonna go into the bottom of your throttle body right here. And this is mostly a seal because your injector shoots in right here. And obviously you don't wanna be shooting fuel straight out the side of your intake. So, yes, obviously we're gonna pop these in. I'm gonna go one at a time, and I'm gonna assemble one stack all the way up. So trumpet and all, just so that I know what I'm doing, and then make sure that everything's correct. And then I'll go through and do the rest of them. I don't wanna do like all 8 of these, and then all 8 trumpets, and then get to like the last part of the one of them and just be like, oh crap, I gotta change this at the bottom, and now I gotta change all 8. So we'll do one at a time, or at least I'll do one, and then once I make sure it's good, I'll just do all the rest of them. But let's go ahead and just, we're gonna pop this in here. Okay, as you can see, it should be like that. So let me just say this, set a lot of time aside if you're gonna be assembling your ITBs. Set a lot of time aside, because literally these 4, like that took me probably, let's see, I'm watching a Jimmy Oaks video. What am I, 15 minutes in? That took me like 10 minutes just to get these 4 bolts in, just because you're sitting here like this. Over and over, and then you gotta do that 4 times. So set a lot of time aside. Anyways, so after this, it would be your trumpet. Like that, it just goes straight to that. Now I have short trumpets, or short stacks. These are velocity stacks. I just call them trumpets because some people call them that, and I like that name instead. That actually looks like it's almost too small of a diameter for some reason. And then I have the tall stacks as well, and I'm gonna set it up with tall stacks just because it's cooler. The size of the stack does affect the motor and all that, but just to set it up, I'm gonna put these are always obviously easiest to change because it's right on top. It's the last thing that you're supposed to put on. So I am gonna set it up with that, but I don't know for sure that we'll end up running the tall ones. Okay, something to note that I didn't pay attention to at all. Some of these are different. As you can see, the linkages on the side are different. They are specific to what goes where. So this one doesn't go here. So this is one of those things. I'm glad that I didn't do all of them and then have to change them all. So I'm just change this one. This one goes here according to this picture. This is literally all I am going off of. YouTube sucks. There's no videos, and then like I just can't find anything. So this is what we're going off of, which would mean that the one that we just put on is going to go on the inside. So the 2 are going to go on the inside that have on both sides wings. Let's see, what the fuck? I don't know, honestly. I got to figure it out. My understanding is that this one, and this one, and this one are gonna go on the 2 inside spots. And then these ones that only have one on the outside or on the inside are gonna go on the outside spot. So this one's gonna go here. This connects to the linkage here, I believe. I don't know, we'll figure it out when that time comes. But for now, I just need to get these set up correctly on here. So take this off and then put this one on. So the easiest way I've found to do this is to just set them up like how they would go beforehand. And then what I realized too is right here is where my linkage is gonna go. And these holes are actually going right there. I have that in there, I don't know why, but so it'll sit in there like that. And then those linkages will grab that, this right here, and that's gonna turn everything. So, yeah. Now I know I can set these up on here for sure, just like this. So I'm gonna go one down the line. I am gonna do it all 4 on there and then stacks after. But yeah, let's go ahead and get these done now. Don't forget your O-rings, these guys, and set a lot of time aside because these literally take like 10 minutes each to bolt on. So here we go. So as you can see, I got this side done. Everything works in unison and properly. I do need to go through and adjust these a little bit. Not all of them are touching the right way. That one's good. But yeah, I just do need to adjust those and make sure that they're not gonna slip off. And I do need to tighten them down so that, you know, in the case that this thing just, you know, we're drifting or whatever, I don't want one of these to pop off and then we're, you know, throwing off the engine. So yeah, this is a snazzy unit. I'm not gonna lie, it looks pretty cool. Like I said, this is gonna be sitting on, what side of the motor is this? Wait, now I'm actually questioning. Oh, it's because I flipped it around. I was tripping myself out because I flipped it around. I was like, dude, did I do the wrong side again? No, so yeah, this is gonna be sitting literally like this on the motor, which is pretty sick, I think. It should look cool, but anyways. Done with this side, I'm gonna throw the throttle bodies on this side now, or these ones on this side. And then we'll get to all of the linkages and all that stuff. So as you can see, we've got them all set up, and man, these look good. I'm getting really excited. So it's gonna be somewhat like this, right? Similar to that anyways. It might be more like that. But to set up our linkages and all that, we can't just like put this on. I mean, we can put it on the motor. If you're like ready to do that, just throw it on the motor. But if you're just assembling, what we're gonna do is use these cross plates that come with it, and we're gonna bolt those on so that we can have this thing oriented the way that it's supposed to be, like that, so that we can set up our linkages within this. So yeah, we're gonna figure out what bolts go in here real quick. There should be 2, 4, 6, 8 of them in a bag somewhere in this mess of bags, and then we'll bolt these up to it and should be able to just have it sitting correctly. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so for your fuel rails, this one they're blue. I'm not gonna end up using these, but I'm just using it to set everything up right now. I'm gonna end up using like a black, I'm ordering all radium stuff for my fuel system. So these are gonna end up being like a black radium thing. Assuming I might end up having to use these. I actually don't know for sure. If I do, I'm gonna have them coated black because I don't want the whole motor black and silver and then blue fuel rails. That's lame. So anyways, got the hardware here for these, and they come with these mounting brackets. So these, I don't know where they bolt to yet. I haven't figured that part out. But once I do, I will figure that out and then show you guys obviously. But the top here bolts to here. So it goes like so. Bolt there, 2 bolts there, and then it bolts to these somewhere. I gotta figure it out right now. But for your fittings, there is, and you don't want to forget these, but there are O-rings in here. As you can see, there are the O-rings, so you got to put those on your fittings and then screw them in. I did this one already, so you can see it in there. You can kind of see, yeah, there's the O-ring. So it's not tight, it's hand tight, but tighten down, it'll seal a little bit better, and then we'll be good. So the fuel rail sits right here. Right here on these. I don't know if the rest of these are used for anything. I have to figure that part out still, but, and I don't even know what LS injectors look like. I don't know if they have bolts, holes right there for some weird reason, but yeah, so you'll have your injector up there. Bada bing, bada boom. Fuel, and then you'll have the other one on this side, of course, but we do need to set this pulley system up. So, I have ran into the issue of, so it's gonna go in here, and I believe, let me think of this. Well, that, yeah, wait, no. It needs to pull that way. So I will have it in here like this and then like that. So that way, when throttle cable is pulled, it's pulling my linkage here. So with that being said though, I don't have the right bolts for those, which I just kind of scratched the paint on. Doesn't matter, I guess. I don't have the right bolts for that, so I need to, these are the 2 that came with it, but they just like are too small. So I need to figure out what that thread pitch is and go to the store and pick those up. All right, so I went and got these tapered screws. They are obviously a little bit small taper wise, but they work fine. They still are gonna center it and everything, just like a tapered bolt really like normally would. And then I also grabbed these. I forgot what these were already. M6 by 1, I think, for us to put the linkage, or I mean, yeah, this pulley and linkage in. So those will go in. These need to go in. So I got this linkage in here, and I will admit, I don't know for sure that this is right. Well, I'm telling you right now, it's probably not right, because I've literally got 3 washers stacked on this side, and it's still like so close to that. So I just don't know that I like that. It's definitely not gonna work long term. And then it also is like, as you can see, it's kind of maxing out that that angle that we can get from this. So I'm just not super fond of how that fits right now. But realistically, there's no other way to do it. So I just gotta figure out what I can do about that. If that means pulling these off and cutting them. I do have these ones actually that are spares. So if I can pull the, or go ahead and just cut these threads shorter, that would be, that's a good option. But we'll see. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do, but I do need to do something about that. I tightened and adjusted all those. So we're at the point where we can now, it's pretty cool actually, because as you can see, everything's working right. So now I just gotta put these fuel rails together, put them on, and then we can throw the stacks on, and then I think that's it. That'll be it for this video anyways, and then once I mount it, I'll have to figure out throttle cable stuff and all that. But I mean, even right now, like, this is a sick unit. I did spray paint this black, as you can obviously tell. That came silver. So I don't know, I just think it looks good like this, you know. These definitely need to not be blue. The rest of my motor is silver and black, so it just needs to be changed. But yeah, let me go ahead and show you guys how to throw these on. Like I said, you're just gonna put your 2 screws here. Lock washers are gonna go on those. And then these are these little socket head screws, and those go straight into those. Okay, so I got the fuel rails on, and I've got just the short stacks on here right now. I do have, as you can see, tall stacks as well. I don't know for sure what we're gonna run yet. So the length of the stack directly is going to have an effect on the motor. So the taller stacks providing a more optimized higher end horsepower, and lower stacks, the shorter stacks, giving you like a better lower RPM torque, lower end torque. So for drifting, you typically want the torque. The horsepower just ends up costing you more for tires. So I mean, it's either way, this car is going to make good power for like the weight of it. So I'm kind of not so sure what I want to do. I like the look of the tall stacks more, but I also want to see it on the motor and in the car. I am going to have to cut the hood, but if I can cut the hood and it be like just barely sticking through, that would be like ideal. So if that means, you know, I just run one or the other, that's honestly fine with me. I'm not super concerned about the numbers that this car makes, because like I said, it's going to be a lot for the power that we're making. I mean, for the weight that we have. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You would just obviously bolt those on. They only use 2 bolts there. And then you've got yourself a very, very sick ITB setup. I'm pretty happy with it. I do need to get these powder coated black, so those are gonna end up coming off for that. And then let's see, what else do I have to do? Oh, I gotta just figure this whole situation out. I'm not a fan of it. I gotta figure out what the right way to have it set up is. But as of right now, it is working. So that's what we want, obviously. Everything to work together. So pretty happy with it. That's the Speedmaster's LS1 ITB kit for the downdraft system. That's the ITB setup. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll try and get to you. This isn't going to be on the car for a little while, but it looks good now. So it's cool. Pretty cool thing. I'm pretty happy about it. I've been wanting these since like I was a kid. So really cool to have them now and be putting them on not just any car, but my dream car. So very cool. And hope you guys liked the video. Sorry if I talk too much. Like and subscribe, comment, all of the above. Thank you for watching.